Hopefully this doesn't end in a disaster. I hope. This doesn't end in a disaster. In a disaster, so. What's up, Pie Man? What's up, Ludology? What's up, Ambition? What's up, Water? Actually, wait, speaking of water. Give me a sec. Okay, back. What the heck is happening? Why is this frozen? The heck? Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'm good. I think. Maybe not, actually. Thank you, Lopside. Can anybody hear audio? Look at all. I guess any audio coming through whatsoever. So, why is that even enabled? Any audio? Oh wait, you can hear it, can't you? Wait, no. You can't hear it. What the heck is happening? Um... Give me a second. Jesus Christ. Yes. Okay. Don't know if anybody heard that, but whatever. Why do I have 16 viewers? Whatever. Let's go. Oh, it's finally working. There we go. What's up, Gaming Master? What's up, Sam? What's up, Muhammad? What's up, Boss? What's up, George? Quite a few new people, not gonna lie. It's about time, jeez. Wait, they just randomly finally. What's up, Sabe? Couldn't see it because of the stupid orange. Oh yes, totally. The point of this project is to mine the entire world. A console classic size world. Since for some reason people still comment me mining an infinite size world, which would be absolutely ridiculous. Saibe? All I can really see is Saibe, so I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly, to be honest with you. I don't want to know how many hours I've put into this. At least 3K. I'm pretty sure I've hit around 3,000 hours into this project. I'd be surprised if I had more than that. 3,000 being pretty optimistic, though. Thank you, boss. I've died a couple times. I think, no, I could make a world record. I could make my own world record with this project. Technically. It'd be kind of sketchy, but you could do it. It's not as precise as, say, like, if I did it on Java or something like that, where you can actually keep statistics of the, how much you mined, but realistically, give me a second. Never mind. Okay. I don't know why I'm mining that. Actually, I know. The most amount of viewers I've ever had was 400. It was when I blew up. I had over... It was like 400 something. It was just at 400 something. Low 400s. I have a video on why I'm doing this. This was way before quarantine. Considering I've been doing this for like 3 years now, so. Funny enough, quarantine did absolutely nothing for this project, surprisingly. Especially since I had to focus on other priorities regardless, so. This, like, quarantine did absolutely nothing for this project. In some cases, I was actually busier than I was not being in quarantine, weirdly enough. $558 was view bots. $400 is the highest it was up to during the explosion. Like real viewers, 400 real viewers. $558 is the highest I've gotten with view bots. Because I don't know why somebody decided to do view bots that had over 500 viewers. It was crazy. What's up, Bentley? Yeah, the map's a bit crazy. It's a full map too, it's the entire world, so. Really? How did I miss? How did that miss? Whatever. Wow, I cannot aim for the life of me, seriously. Still can't aim for the life of me. Especially on the PS4. Now, if this is Java, it'd probably be different. I'm actually pretty good at aiming. Can you actually... I swear to God. Thank you. Jeez. What's up, Pope? Yeah, my bow is pretty low. You'd be surprised how long this thing actually lasts. Hello? Favorite song? I really do not have a favorite song, trust me. I really don't even listen to music at all at this point. Favorite movie? Really don't have one to be honest. The world is my entire house. Seriously? Oh, that could have been sick if you went the other direction. don't know if I can actually aim properly. I don't know when I slept in a Minecraft bed. I mean, the last time I did it was last section, I think. Wait, if you mean sleeping as in like me forcefully sleeping, resetting my spawn point is the last time I actually slept. And if you mean sleeping as in a full night sleeping, then I have no idea. Rig. Can you even... I don't think you can do that, can you? Unmod yourself? I don't think it's actually possible. Honestly, I should know that because I am actually a moderator on Scenic Streams. I don't think I'm actually a mod on Kilos. I could be wrong though. I actually don't remember. I don't remember if I was on if I'm actually a moderator on or Kilos streams. I may be though. What's up, crewmate? It's been so long since I've actually been to Kilo streams. It's been what, like since June 19th when he went to the far lines. What's up, Atlas? I have theoretically, if you don't count the ore, so if you don't count the ore I haven't mined yet, I have around 8650, but if you count the ore, so theoretically if I mined all the ore, With Fortune 3, I'd have around 90 to 100 diamonds, roughly. Something like that. What's up, Moodin? What's up, Silk? What's the game? It's Terraria. E? I try to spend around 3 to 4 hours on average. 3.5 hours probably my most common goal is around 3.5 hours. A little bit more depending. I want to finish on 2 layers, which takes around 4 hours a day, which I don't know. Obviously, I've been tweaking with the settings during streams, so 4 hours isn't entirely 2 layers. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes or 30 minutes, something like that, of downtime. I mean, 3 hours actually isn't that long. Like, I know 3 hours is, for some people, it feels like an absolute eternity, but when you're mining for this long, the time goes by very quickly. And do mind you, I don't do it every day, like, not consistently. I think in the future I'll probably do more consistency, but at the moment it's not 100% consistent. At least 99% consistent in the future because of appointments and stuff like that I have in the future, possibly. So it's not going to be perfect consistency in the future, but maybe as close as possible. Just one block and then quits. Oh, okay. Like you just start up a world, gets a wooden pickaxe, just mines the one block and just quits. Okay. Okay, that didn't scare me as bad as it did last time. Hopefully you guys didn't have a heart attack doing that with that notification. Why is that so loud? Nice, 1.7 million bucks. It's quite a bit. Keep dirtying up my mic. I'm on Legacy Edition 1.14 for PS4 is the highest edition. Mercy of Brandy. Or Brandy. Why did I say Brandy? I mean Brandy. Let's say chest. So, or CH3. I don't know. I'll just go with chest because it looks like an E. So. Yeah, diamonds really just do not matter whatsoever, though. What's up, Crimson? Wait, is that you, Charlie? I don't know if it is or not. I'm pretty sure it is, but wait, no, you're hydration coordinator. Never mind. Unless you have two accounts, but I really don't think so. Because I know you have. Never mind. I don't know, maybe like a year or so. Has a virus. It didn't even stop working. It just has a virus. Except just a friend. Need a firmware update. We'll be mining the Nether and the End, and then after that I have no idea. I've never actually had a nosebleed ever, interestingly enough. I've gotten kicked in the nose by a person on the swing set before, and I still haven't had one, which is super weird. And they were going pretty fast too. Straight in the nose. And still I've never had one, weirdly enough. I have not done a survival series. I don't know if I'm gonna do one after. There's really not. I don't think there's any point in doing a survival series after I'm done. I'll figure out what else I'm gonna be doing after this. I'll figure it out. I was thinking about doing a separate channel for other games. I don't know, maybe. Possibly. You need yourself in the face. I've heard they really suck. They seem like they're kind of like a cut that never stops bleeding in a way. I don't know. That's what they, at least that's what they seem like. In a way, at least, not the exact way. It's more of a sort of like an analogy to it. I could be completely wrong, though. It may not actually be like that, but it just kind of seems like it. 'Cause I swear, I've seen people have nosebleeds and It took them forever before the bleeding actually stopped. I've heard about that as well. Like, some people don't even notice them until it just kind of just happens out of literally nowhere. It's like, oh yeah, my nose is bleeding. It's like, I can't even feel it. That's really interesting that they don't actually, that's really unfortunate. Both scenarios are pretty unfortunate. Oh, I didn't see that. That works. Just mine all this. There's no point in leaving this. I don't know why I would even leave this. What the heck even causes random nosebleeds anyway? I know there's like one or two people that I've seen that actually have had that happen to them. It's like, how did just random nosebleeds happen? I can't believe how long we're actually going on this conversation. It's kind of funny. To be fair, I don't tend to leave conversations often, I'll be honest. I'm one of those, I'm the complete opposite of like most groups of people that will just go into a conversation and then leave it in 10 seconds. Mine's more like, I will stay on this topic for literally 30 minutes if I have to. Which really annoys me that some people literally will stay on the topic for like less than a minute and then go to another one. What? What's the point of even going on that topic in the first place? What's the worst pain? Funny enough, I've actually mentioned this on the stream, but I'd argue probably the worst pain I've ever had was running down a hill and then falling and literally fist bumping concrete. I basically fist bumped it. I'm glad I didn't have it. I didn't have any. I think I was actually pretty lucky in that scenario, I'll be honest with you. It was excruciating, but I was still super lucky. There were so many scenarios where it could have been much worse than it actually was. Surprisingly, I've never actually broken a bone yet, but I've came really close. Like, that scenario alone was really close. A dirt farm? Interesting. I'm surprised I didn't actually break any of my fingers. Let me just say that a couple scenarios that could have happened. One scenario is my hand would have been outward, like with my hand being outward, and it would have been just, oh god, I can't even think about this, but it'd be like, instead of fist bumping it, my fingers would go outward instead of inward. So like press your hand on something and you just bend your fingers back. Imagine running into a thing of concrete. Well, I was going pretty fast too. I wasn't going slow. I was running pretty quick. And instead of like making a fist into it, it goes backwards. And yeah, I can't even think of what would happen. Probably one of my fingers could have just literally at least 2 or 3 fingers. I probably would have at least broken 2 or 3 fingers doing that if that happened. Another scenario is if my hand missed and my face hit, then that's probably the worst possible scenario, because I probably would have broken a jaw, a nose, my nose possibly. Anything of that sort. It could be, probably could have just got knocked out cold right then and there. Something like that, you know. Don't get me wrong, like, it wasn't a super high up, I mean, it was a sidewalk, so. Ooh, that sounds... Just thinking about that, that sounds very painful. I think my second worst pain would probably be... I'd totally argue I not dislocated, sprained my... Since I sprained that finger, my index finger, that's basically what my injury was. It was just a sprain, luckily. But it was my ankle. I did like a long jump and I turned sideways and I rolled my ankle. It wasn't the immediate pain either. It was... Oh wait, there is actually one other time I've really had a bad experience when it comes to pain. You couldn't move your toes? Jeez, that's definitely worse than mine. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was really stupid what I was trying to do, so I didn't know I actually sprained my ankle. Dude, mind you, this was like the day of a track meet, and I tried practicing on it. This is when my ankle was at its worst, and I tried running on it. It was... I'd argue probably... It could have been honestly worse. I don't remember the pain that well. But... Let me just say, like, I think the pain possibly could have been worse than that, than the foot, the hand thing, the, hitting the sidewalk. That's how bad it was. Like, excruciatingly painful. Ooh, we're getting bit by a dog. What would be another horribly painful moment? I mean, the one recently I had was really painful. I'm trying to clean it. I was trying to put up a tire, like as in putting up a tire, as in like putting on a car at Discount Tire. And my finger slipped, and let's just say the tire slipped off of the little sprocket thing, the little things, I forgot what they're called, that have the lug nuts. And my finger got caught in between the rim and those. Yeah. The tire was pretty heavy too. I mean, it wasn't like a tiny little car. It was pretty heavy. I basically sliced part of my finger. Very... Luckily enough, I didn't, my finger, like, chopped off. Like, let me say, I've gotten extremely lucky with some of these incidences. They were painful, but there could have been worse. Which, honestly, if you have, the least, threatening scenario, I would consider that lucky. Because out of all of the situations that could have happened, you get the best of each of the situations. I think it was also because I kind of, like, at least took my finger out fast enough as well. I took it out so fast, jeez. It's crazy how fast the body actually reacts to pain. It was almost instantaneous. I mean, it makes sense though, at the same time. It's just crazy how fast the body actually reacts to pain. Yeah, it's a lot of blood. Rip. You know what's kind of funny? Speaking of that, the like injury while running. I wonder how many people actually believe me that I actually had knee problems, at least up to a certain point, because I did so well with knee problems. Like, seriously. Oh, thank you. I wonder how fast, how much faster your body actually reacts with adrenaline. I'm actually kind of curious about that. What's like the... Because I know the average is around 1/4 of a second. The average reaction time of a person is around 1/4 of a second, which is, for most situations, is pretty fast, but... Also, what's up? Perkish. So, I wonder how much faster it is because, I don't know, it's just kind of curious. To be fair, I get adrenaline rushes all the time when it comes to certain things. I can almost force an adrenaline rush if I really wanted to. It doesn't have to be anything that's, like, life-threatening, obviously. I know you could technically do it if you race somebody in something, but I'm talking, like, in general. Oh, it's percussionist. Okay, that just looked so odd seeing that like that. Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't think that the knees aren't that capable when it comes to falling from heights. If that is, if you landed on your feet. Or you just landed on your knees in general, but still. Really, I think the best thing to do when it comes to surviving falls is just kinda... I mean, yes, it's hard to not tense up your body, but you gotta kinda just go limp. And just roll. Hopefully you don't land on anything that can break. I'd recommend your shoulder. Or your, like, chest area. Or stomach, chest area thing. I don't know. Anything of that sort, honestly. Really just kind of land flat, but at the same time, if you have the opportunity to roll into whatever you're doing, like parkour almost, you're kind of doing a parkour jump, but you're just falling. I don't know how feasible that is just because of how momentum works, because I've never fallen from a really high height before, so... I mean, the highest I think I've ever fallen was going through a river, jumping off of a rope at a river. I doubt you have that much. Ability to move in the air. Okay. Apparently when I was like 2. Yeah, that's true. Apparently when I was 2, I stepped in some hot coals and literally burned all the skin off of the bottom of my foot. Or something like that. I don't know how old I was, but... Jeez, that sounds painful. I'm glad memories don't form that. I mean, they do form early, and my memory is just so bad that I really doubt I have many memories even past around like 4. And they're extremely vague memories. Super vague. Like, I can remember doing things, I just don't remember them in detail whatsoever. I just remember doing the specific action, I just don't know whatsoever anything else, any other details. For example, probably the youngest memory, or the, not youngest, oldest memory. I mean, I was at the youngest. This is probably the youngest age in terms of memory that I remember. Was when I was 4, playing Need for Speed on my PS2. That's all I remember. That's like the oldest memory I have. Other than that, it's... everything else is basically a blur. when was the first time I played Minecraft? I think the only time I actually played Minecraft, well, the earliest memory I have of playing Minecraft was with my friend back in 2011. I wasn't even into Minecraft, only my friend was really. And he played, I think he had his own map or something like that. I forgot what type of map it was. I actually don't remember what he was doing, to be honest with you, but I remember playing a little bit of it with him at his house. That's really about what I remember. I got into Minecraft in 2012 on Pocket Edition back in 0.6.0. Actually, 0.6.0 just came out with my my cousins introducing it to me. Weirdly enough, I remember that cakes, lava buckets were added. I don't remember why. I remember that, but whatever. Oh, that was horrible. Whatever. Hold jump. I wish more people were actually aware of, I mean, obviously I want more people aware of cognition in general, but I wish more people aware of memories, of how good people's memories are and stuff like that. It's really unfortunate that it's so dominated by SI parents and SI heroes, so it's like they assume everybody has this good memory or stuff like that. 'Cause yes, you gotta love cognitive bias. It's really frustrating sometimes. You could probably notice cognitive bias. I can tell you what it is. Basically, it's just you're projecting your type or your unconscious type to other people. You can probably see people do this. You may even be doing it in some cases without even realizing it. It's really hard to break. Like, this is probably one of the hardest things you could break from a psychological standpoint. Yes, I did. Yeah, it's really unfortunate when something like that happens. I know I had this, like, I think it was second grade. I think I know who it actually is. It was my second grade teacher, and it was during graduation, and we went through elementary and stuff like that. It, and primary school, Jesus Christ. And we looked back at all the teachers, and then she literally told me, "It's like, do you remember?" It's like, no. It's like, that's really unfortunate. I knew who she was after the fact, but at the moment I could not remember whatsoever. I was like, okay. It's like, yeah, I do not have that good of a memory. Especially if it's like, okay, I'm pretty good when it comes to faces, but I'm not that good. I'm decent when it comes to faces. Voices and faces, I can usually pair those together. Especially voices. I'm not good with names though, which is really unfortunate, because I can usually I know who somebody is generally by their voice, but not by their name, which is really funny. I don't actually address people by their name most of the time, I'll be honest with you. I really don't. Obviously, streaming, I kind of have to, but in real life, I really don't do it at all. But yeah, I'll probably I'll drink a little bit of water. Some people are amazing with names. Oh my god, passing out papers, I swear to god, that was a nightmare. I was always the last one to finish passing out papers. Luckily, I only had to do it a couple times in my entire life, but thank god I'm done with that. Holy jeez, that was bad. Even if it's people that I know well, that I've seen in class many, many times, I just don't. God dang it. I still don't know their names. That's kind of insane. What's up, Lacua? I think it's Lacua. I don't actually remember your name, weirdly enough. Speaking of remembering things. Yeah, trust me, passing out papers is a nightmare. When you have one of the worst memories possible. If not the worst memory possible. It's horrible. Unless you literally, like, study people's names and you really pay attention to people's names, which I don't. Yeah. Now, if I heard the name like 5 or 6 times, yes, I could probably remember it, just not a large amount of names. Maybe like 2 or 3 names of people. I probably know pretty well. I should probably start introducing people by names, because that'd probably actually help me remember names better. Just practicing saying names to people and stuff like that, that would help. But I don't do it for some reason. Lacua. Dang it. What's up, Ash? Okay. Um. Let's see. I think face to sound is an SE thing. I think SE users are better at picking up faces and voices. Interestingly enough, usually the people that usually names, when it comes to names, memorizing names, the people that stick out to me, at least in terms of the names, I know I'm saying names a lot, but are people that really like interact with me, because obviously I didn't interact with many people, but generally speaking, I can usually know people's names. Especially if somebody says their name, like if another person says, "Hey, here's this, here's," and then they introduce them constantly, or say their name constantly. I eventually do pick up on it, but I personally don't pick it up. Actually, sometimes I wait for somebody to say their name, and then I figure out what it is. So I use other people's like memory, which is kind of what SE users are supposed to do anyway. They're supposed to use other memory sources like notepads and other people's memory directly. Hey, do you remember this? It's like, the thing is, the reason why SI users, even though they have such a good memory, they always try to say, hey, do you remember this, is because of their SE parent, or SE nemesis and SE critic, which is really unfortunate. Especially since it's like, yeah, I'm not an SI user. It's like, you're using SE Critic and SE... You're trying to ask you have one of the best memories, and you're asking an SI demon about remembering something. It's like, can you... I literally told, I think it was my mom, she said, can you remind me of this? Like, just write it down. Just write down what you need, because I'm not going to remember, trust me. There are very few times where I actually do remember things that people say. It doesn't happen often, but it can happen. It's very uncommon though. If I'm like really bored and I'm not doing anything, I could probably remember it, but if I don't do anything, then... Yeah, it's really only who I interact with. Yeah, that happens. I don't even ask what my name is. I just wait until somebody says their name. The funny part is nobody's ever mentioned that, actually. I've done that for literally my entire life, where I never actually say what their name is. And... nobody's actually ever picked up on it, which is weird. Seriously, like, nobody has ever picked up on the fact that I actually never say people's names. Except for people that I like friends and stuff like that. That's really the only people I know. Other than that, if it's people I really don't know well, I literally do not say their name at all. Basically non-existent. Their name to me is like almost non-existent. It's just the person themselves. In my mind, at least. Do we do something else before putting with this? Yeah, I wondered. The thing is about the memory thing is that I can't remember. So I can maybe remember one thing at once, and that's really about it. But if somebody assigned me like multiple things, there's almost a guarantee I'll forget the second thing. Almost a guarantee, seriously. It's horrible. It's like, can you do this, and then do this, and then do this? Like, you think I'm gonna remember that? Tell me when I'm done with the first objective, and then do the next objective. That would be better. Or give me a list. If somebody does that to me again, I'm going to tell them either give me a list or tell me after I'm done with the first objective, because I'm not going to remember the second one. Because lists help a lot. You know what also helps with lists? I mean, not lists. It also helps is diagrams. Trust me when I tell you this, like when you learn something, especially SCTI users, so Templars basically, use diagrams to learn things. It helps a lot. Like if there's a concept you don't understand, like networking was a good example. I mean, I could read it what I want to, but I would need at least a little bit of visualization of what I need to learn. And once I get a decent visualization, so like for example, networking speeds or networking cables. Trying to remember the speeds and the cables. Give me a diagram of it. Let me analyze it for a good like 5 minutes. I'll probably have the entire diagram memorized. Just because I can picture it in my mind with SE. Because it's a visual object. It's like, oh yeah, I remember seeing this, and then... Like, I know there's a Cat 3, Cat 5, Cat 5e, Cat 6, Cat 7. I can tell you all the networking speeds for each of them. It's so weird. I'm not going to go into any further, but you get the idea. Like, that's how powerful diagrams are for SE users specifically. Especially TI users. I'd say TI users in general. Here's the thing. I would say SE users diagrams with TI. SE users with TE probably reading. I don't think diagrams help that much. I mean, they probably at least a decent amount. Not as much for TI users. At least not as much. SI users videos, definitely. I know a lot of SI users probably would disagree with me on this one, but definitely videos. Even a book. Books are good with SI users because they can remember what they read. At least, somewhat remember. Remember the book, at least. Okay, give me a second. Just a sec. Get back. I literally drink about 30 ounces in a stream. Just gonna say that. Just to put in perspective how much I drink per stream. It's probably close to like 25, something like that, 20 to 25, but sometimes I have good streams when it comes to drinking water. I don't think I'm gonna do a second layer, or at least I'll do probably 1.5 layers today. Maybe. Maybe if I'm bored tonight, like if I can't go to sleep, I'll just do another layer, or I'll finish that half layer. You know, I just thought of something stupidly hypocritical about SE Inferior. SE Inferior is always about, like... I understand what, the arrogancy of SE Inferior really is. Like, the true arrogancy of SE Inferior. Since we are so unaware of what we're doing, so SI Demon, completely unaware of what we're doing, we can only talk about what other people are doing, since we are so unaware of. There's a bit of hypocrisy with SC Inferior in that case, which can be bad as long as we understand how good we are at something and know what we're doing. Because if it's something we don't know, we've never touched, we probably won't do anything, because SC Inferior is literally... It's literally a bot when it comes to learning something, because we have no comprehension of what the heck we're even doing, so it's like, just tell me what I need to do so I can do it, instead of saying, I'm gonna do this because I know what I'm doing, even though I actually don't know what I'm doing. Basically saying, I know what I'm doing basically means I am good at this, which, no. You don't actually know what you're doing. It's like, okay, well that's very, I know I've mentioned that the critic function is like a, has its own is the hypocrisy of a person, but honestly, the SC Inferior has its own internal hypocrisy that many people don't really think about. It's not as bad as, say, SC Critic, but it has some hypocrisy built into it. What made me think about that? I forgot. I kind of forgot, I'll be honest with you. Nice, Ash. Here's also another interesting thing. Have you ever noticed that you may possibly not be good at taking directions from certain types of people? You're probably wondering why that happens. I don't know if anybody's ever had that happen before, but have you ever just, like, had a hard time learning from other people? Certain types of people. People. So, like, I mean learning anything. No, it's not. Jesus Christ, calm TI child, but no, it's not incompetence. It's, it has to do with, I'm talking just learning from people in general, like, people's interaction styles, so, like, I'll give an example. My type, INFJ, I have an ENFP unconscious. I learn the best from, you learn the best from your unconscious type. So, I learn the best from informative types. I need to know what you mean. I need to know, as much information as possible, clarify stuff better. But say, if I learn from, like, an STP, or even STJ, I have probably the worst time with STJs learning from things. Mainly because they project STP onto me, which is really frustrating, but, you could say the same for STPs as well. But because they're direct, STJs have a direct unconscious, so they're going to learn, like, I can't, since they're a direct interaction style. They're going to, I can't learn that well from direct types. For example, when I was learning really learning anything from a direct type, I have to always figure out what the heck they mean, and it's like, I'm not used to talking with direct. I'm not built for direct people, even though I'm very direct. It's very weird, but you could say informative types. It's one of the reasons STPs and STJs are so good together, is because they are both direct and they both have direct unconsciouses. That's one of the reasons why it's the golden pair. The golden pair is literally all social interaction. You learn the best from that type. You don't learn, I'm not saying you learn the most from your type, from their type. You actually learn the most from your own type, weirdly enough. But in terms of how you learn the best from your unconscious type, or your golden pair type. Because of how how it aligns. It's like a flow, it's flow, it's kind of like a flow state between both types. It's like a perfect balance between the cognitive functions. Pretty nice. Weirdly enough, though, I don't benefit that much from my unconscious type, especially since ENFPs aren't entirely that great when it comes to teaching. I mean, they're pretty good, because they actually somewhat know how SE inferior, even though they don't even realize it, how good SE inferior benefits from mirroring people. Like mirroring movements, mirroring teachings, stuff like that. They don't even realize they're doing it, but most people, they're like, hey, you're probably an SI user, so here, mimic me. It's like, okay, how is mimicking gonna help me? And then they think I'm probably somebody, I don't know. I don't want to know what some people think of me sometimes. Good thing I'm kind of unaware of what people think of me sometimes, though. Unfortunately, INTJs don't have that benefit, at least. I do, because I'm practically unaware of what they think of me. And I'm pretty hard to handle when it comes to teaching me stuff because of my independency of self-teaching. There's a reason why I would personally say INFJs are probably the most, not the most independent, but the most, benefit the most from self-teaching. Because INTJs are the most independent, even though I kind of would say INFJs could be potentially the most independent. Weirdly enough, I think they could potentially be the most independent out of all of the types. It's not easy, but you'd have to fully develop your subconscious, ESTP subconscious. I actually think INFJs should be the bridge between independency and dependency. Or team, like literally the bridge between affiliative and pragmatism and all of the types, honestly. I'd really have to say probably INFJs are probably the bridge between all of the types, at least from a social standpoint, interestingly enough. Because, I mean, you have an ESTP subconscious that's supposed to divide people. And then you have your ENFP conscious, which is supposed to give other people a better future, basically. And one side is extremely pragmatic and one side is extremely affiliative. When you combine both, you basically have this, like... I want to be able to combine I want to perfectly balance pragmatism and affiliativeness. At some point, I want to do it. Because I think if you combine both, you're basically unstoppable up until a certain point. It has taken me a while as well, don't worry. I still really don't even ask for help, especially knowing now that I benefit so much from self-teaching. It's like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna go 100% self-teaching. I know my friend, I told him about my IT thing. He said, if you need any help, ask me. It's like, you're asking me that? Out of everybody, when I could just self-teach myself everything? It may take forever for me to self-teach something, but I will perfect that, whatever I self-teach myself in. The ultimate deliberate practice is NI Hero. NI Hero is literally deliberate practice. NI in itself is deliberate practice, but out of all the types, NI Hero is definitely the most deliberate when it comes to practicing things. Easily, there's no question. NI Child doesn't even compare in terms of deliberate practice. I'm trying to figure out the roadmap to my own cognition, though. Nice. 99. Well, I'm not surprised he asked for that, though. He's an ENFJ, so... That won't... Okay, so... It's really interesting how our interactions go by, because it's like... We kind of click in a way, but I think really the real reason we click... It's kind of hard to click with ENFJs, at least to some degree. I know I've been friends with him for literally years and years and years, so it's not that hard with him, but at the same time, it's like, oh god, ENFJs and INFJs, they may be quite different in some cases, but oh my god, a lot of the demeanor is very similar. It's kind of funny. The demeanor is very similar. From what I've learned is INFJs should, I mean, NFJs in general, should stop trying to make moral decisions because they just don't make any sense. Seriously. I'm gonna eventually develop morality. I don't know when I'm gonna do it. Reading is probably gonna be a way I'm gonna have to do it in the future. Watching and very cherry picking people's ideas, basically, over periods of times. I'm talking about my friend. I'm talking about how our interactions between like INFJ, like the camaraderie types, basically INFJs and ENFJs. The camaraderie, and I was talking about the roadmap, but with my own cognition. I'm trying to piece it all together to eventually figure out like the real. Don't get me wrong. I know the purpose is to strengthen people. Like I know INFJ's purpose is to strengthen people due to skills that I develop over periods of time. And or businesses or anything like that. Really strengthen society in some case, in some form of way. But it's there's even a higher purpose. There's the ultimate truth that all the types realize after long periods of time, after developing all four sides of the mind. It's really has to do with like the master function. I mentioned this yesterday, but the master function is basically the parent function of the superego. It's so powerful. It's kind of insane. It may only happen for like a second or a split second, and it's more powerful than all the sides combined. It literally uses the power of all the sides of the mind simultaneously while trying to use the master function. It takes so much mental energy for you to even use it. It's kind of insane. Now I'm trying to figure out what the real true purpose is with like the ultimate purpose, pretty much like the ultimate realization, let me just say. And really, I'd say probably the ultimate realization is SI demon, which becomes SI angelic, which is ultimate self-preservation, or ultimate I guess self-preservation, I don't know. I don't know, something like that, you know. Ultimate self-preservation and the become the ultimate forgiver of people, basically, of all actions of people. Basically the ultimate judgment of humanity. The ultimate judge, basically the judger of humanity's future, I guess is the best way to say it. It sounds weird and kind of, yeah. That's really the best way to explain it. Because it starts with certainty of the INFJ with NI Hero, and strengthening people with SE Inferior, and then realizing self-worth due to the strengthening of other people. And then finally, and trusting other people because of being able to strengthen other people and understanding people and yourself, and actually loving yourself. And then finally it's SI Demon, which becomes SI Angelic, which is finally like the ultimate final judgment of, well, not final judgment, but loving judgment of humanity, ultimate forgiver. Kind of like INTJs as well, ISFJ. Except for them, it's more like INTJ superego, which is ISFJ. It's basically the ultimate justice. Basically serves justice for humanity. Humanity's protector is the best way to say for ISFJ. Because ISFJs are all about protecting. How many viewers? I don't know. Probably maybe like... honestly around 100. But here's the thing. I only really would get nervous towards at the end of the project, 'cause I know it's that sudden burst of viewers that really just kind of makes me slightly nervous. Very slightly, but for the most part I'm pretty comfortable now. Or not comfortable, but not fearful. But yeah. What's up, RC? It's like, well, you're fired. Oh shoot, I did not realize how much coal. Dang, there's a lot of coal, jeez. I hope I didn't lose too much coal doing this. Seriously. To be fair, you guys are also getting y'all's own sign, or y'all's, either y'all's own sign or just put y'all's name in the world. I don't know. I might as well just put y'all's name in the world. Put it on a moderator thing. Like a... yeah, that's the thing apparently. That... What's up, sniping? I probably will. Actually, no, I'm gonna put my friend first, Combo Kings. Since he's been literally the original, he's been the person who's literally stuck through this entire project, like literally almost, actually before the project even started. From literally start to finish from this project, seeing it almost all the way through. I know he hasn't been on these streams that often, but he does pop in occasionally. I mean, if I made a new channel and you guys joined, I could probably make y'all's mod on a separate channel. So it's not like you guys can't just join another channel that if I made another channel. I think I'm nearing 1,000 hours into the total stream time is 1,000 hours. Almost. I think I'm at like 900 something. Probably low 900s. No, I definitely would have. I'm definitely gonna be advertising, why wouldn't I? If I do make one, if I do make a new channel, I don't know if I actually am gonna go through with making another channel and doing more YouTube. I don't want to get sucked into more doing things on YouTube. Unless it's for like a bigger purpose, but... Oh yeah. I was gonna drink earlier and I actually completely forgot. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do around 2.5 hours, or two 1.5. I don't where the heck 2.5 hours. I have no clue where 2.5 hours came from, but half a layer. I also need to finish that practice test. I'm doing amazing on I'm doing pretty good on those practice tests. I got a 40. I know it sounds horrible. I got a 40. That was very bad. That was a horrible test. And then I got 60, which to be fair, I wasn't good at taking those tests for IT. And then I got a 60 on the same test. Luckily I don't remember much of the test, so it was pretty fresh in my mind, because, yeah, I don't remember anything. And then I got a 75 on a 74. I needed a 75, but I got a 74 on a practice test. It's a completely different practice test. And then hopefully this one hopefully I get like an 85 or a 90. I have a pretty high chance of getting like a 90 on it, so. Yeah, if that shows anything about practicing taking tests, if that shows about, how good it is to just practice taking a test versus even just knowing the knowledge. $20-day stream, yes. I think if I did this for 20 days straight, I think I'd be done. Actually, I'm fairly certain I would be done. I think. Actually, would I even be done? Maybe not, actually. I don't know. Okay, that's the thing. Okay. I was checking how loud the background noise was, but now I understand. It's not that loud, surprisingly. It really is not. yeah. It's not horribly loud at least. I was checking the bar where it shows how loud everything is, but pretty squeaky. I remember seeing a comment. I don't know where this actually came from, but I read a comment on INFPs because they talked about like if somebody else was like if another type swapped with another type. That would be interesting actually. But imagine swapping cognitions on the fly. That'd be so weird. I mean, you'd kind of do it with the four sides of the mind, but if you went completely different types than the four sides, I think that'd be interesting. But they said like, oh yeah, if another type went on the swap with an INFP, they'd be like, how do I handle all these emotions? Like, what does handling emotions have to do with higher cognition? Because sure, they make decisions constantly about how they feel, because it's FI hero. That has nothing to do with handling emotions. You may outwardly project your emotions more because you make a decision based off your feelings, but really everybody handles emotions differently. But everybody has the same amount of emotions. It's more like, it's like you think somehow that you feel more than other types. Not really. You just handle them differently. FI parents would probably have even worse time handling. I mean, I know I have FI critics, so I really don't... Feelings are kind of weird to me, but... yeah. It's like, yeah, okay, sure, yes, you're very complex and deep when it comes to character because you have FI hero. And you're the most withdrawn type, technically. But it doesn't mean that you have more emotions. You just act on them more. It's like, seriously. Your brain prioritizes making decisions based on the feelings. It's not really the feelings themselves. It's also one of the reasons why most of people think INFPs are wimps in the MBTI community, which is really kind of unfortunate. It's because of how, because it's like they make decisions based off how they feel, and then they get sadder for some one interaction, and then it's like, oh, you. Not only that, but they also have SI child, so that doesn't exactly help. It's like I want to just stay in my comfort zone. And they probably wonder why people, and then it's really funny though, because when people try to like criticize INFPs, they just can't handle it because it's like, oh, you hurt my feelings. It's like, that's just your belief, that's not actually the truth. It's like, I don't care about the actual truth, all I care about is belief, because, you know, I'm T inferior. It's like, seriously? Obviously, these are more unhealthy INFPs, or a bit more immature INFPs, how they're making decisions. Because anybody can become immature, even if you're most mature person, you can easily backslide, depending on, especially SI demons. It's especially true for SI demons, even though SE inferiors think that somehow they have this, like, god complex with, like, oh yeah, you're only speaking to unhealthy INFJs or even INTJs. It's like, we're not like that. This would have been useful in the past. I totally can't change. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, like, that's very, very arrogant. I know, like, the hero and the, why'd I do that? Oh, it's just weird. INFJs can, if they're more corrupt. INFPs, ISFPs, high FI users, ENFPs, ESFP, FPs really. Just FPs really. Just all FPs. STJs and NTJs. NTJs, SFPs. FPs, NTJs, really. They're the types that make decisions least on their feelings. TP types, so ISTPs, STPs, NTPs, really. I know, 2 streams in a row. God dang it, messed it up. 2 streams in a row. Or I've actually been able to, not break a pickaxe without any code red, very surprisingly. It only took 3 years. Actually, no, technically it's only been like 7 months since I've actually fully streamed while doing this, while checking pickaxes, so like 7 months. 8 months. I'm not paying attention whatsoever. Also, why am I really bad at going up waterfalls? Kind of want to learn how to speed bridge, I'll be honest. I have a pretty good idea on how to do it. I just really like don't know. I've always actually been okay with people interrupting me, weirdly enough. I don't know why. It's like this. Okay, never mind. I don't know how to even like. You have to like crouch and uncrouch every. Jesus. I don't know what the timing is on it though. You have to crouch and uncrouch. That or something like that. Wait, why do you need a keyboard? Shoot. Dang it. I think I actually understand the timing bit. It's like you crouch and then when you place a block you walk over that block walk over that block and then run and then walk backwards. Uncrouch, crouch, uncrouch, crouch. No, I'm gonna mend it, don't worry. Why do you need a key? Oh, that makes sense sometimes. I'm not even that good at bridging and that's not actually that bad, to be honest with you. The timing isn't super strict. It just, I don't know about consistency. It's getting consistent would be hard. You have to like I'm gonna do this just for like a minute or two, just to see. Shoot. Really, that's... Dang it. Okay, I'm good, don't worry. I'm going back. I don't even need these stone blocks anyway. No, darn, there's plenty of durability, trust me. It may not look like that much, but you'd be surprised at how durable these pickaxes are even at this durability. Sleep is definitely hard. You just need to have a consistent waking time, really. Consistent waking time is probably the core component of good sleep, or sleeping at a good time. Even falling asleep at the same time over and over again doesn't help. After doing some experimenting with sleep. I mean, you aren't wrong, that has happened before, so. Even though, actually, I think every time I have tried to tell you guys to remind me, and still didn't do it. Nice. Yeah, it helps a lot, doesn't it? Stop licking me. Okay, there we go. Come on. How has it gotten any worse than it's already been? That's the real question. They're pretty good. Wait a minute, how do you sleep at 4 whenever I stream at like 4? Yeah, eating right before you sleep is not good. Especially in the morning. When you wake up, it doesn't feel good. Like, the only really way you can get out of that is if you have a really fast metabolism. But metabolism stops almost entirely, at least. At night. That's one of the reasons why it's so hard to wake up when you eat something big at night. In the morning. It doesn't always happen, but there's a higher chance of it happening. It's not paying attention. Okay. 2 hours and 14 minutes. It's not bad, actually. I'll do like half a layer or something like that. Since I started so freaking late. Do like yeah, let's do half layer. I think half layer is actually alright. Something like that. Yeah, about that. I know it's been a while. Yeah, I kind of got basically dropped on my head. But honestly, I was sort of expecting that to happen, I'll be honest. But I'm working on IT certificates now, basically. So to go into possibly become a IT support technician, and then probably go into programming or something like that after. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it happens. I completely forgot. I'm on layer 17. No, you're good, don't worry. Yes, much greater things. I could probably move up very quickly in terms of just pure knowledge. Since I actually know how to study effectively for my own sake. Unlike most people that don't actually know how to study for themselves. Not everybody benefits from self-teaching themselves, but considering I benefit so much from self-teaching myself and I know how to self-teach myself things, yeah. It's a pretty deadly combo. There's one person, you mentioned Dark. Remember that other guy yesterday who donated like $100 or something like that? See that guy Connor on the most recent donator? Yeah, he donated $100 yesterday, and then another guy who was 20. Yeah, he didn't say he was gonna explicitly beat it, but he really kind of sounded like he did. He even said like, "Hey, I'm gonna make it where you forget Dark." So, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but that's basically what he said. I know, it was Senior Pickle. Yeah, it's Dark. Wobbly Time Lord. We donated like, I think it was like $700 total. Over the span of like a month. When I blew up in March. Something like that. What's your theory? You said I have a theory twice. I don't think so. I would be surprised if he was alts. Senior Pickle was the person, it was the donation war between Dark and Senior Pickle, and Senior Pickle just kind of just left. I don't even know what happened to both of those either. Even though he lost miserably in the donation war, he didn't have any funds anyway that he could have spared. Well, yeah. Yeah. He's still over at least 3 or 4 times higher than the second highest donator, which was Nico, which donated, I think it was like 150 bucks or something like that total. 150, maybe 200. That was absolute insanity though. This guy, literally $200 in one donation. It's like, jeez, dude. That's absolute insanity. I don't know if anybody's actually going to ever donate that much in one donation again, but you never know towards the end of the project. God, that's going to be insane. Oh yeah, double Patreon. He's been a double Patreon for like, what, 7 months or something like that? Which is an extra $350 because he's a double legacy patron, which is $50 a month. Oh yeah, I need to tell Connor about that actually. About Patreon. I did say that. I forgot about that actually. I forgot why I would stop streaming. I think it was a really dark time. Yeah, I'm sorry, but not dark time, but it was a very stressful time. Honestly, this project, I'm trying to figure out how to balance this. I'm basically trying to be as stress-free as possible with this project, because I know stress in myself. I'm literally the cause of all the stressful, which I think that's for everybody, but stress in itself is caused by yourself in a way. Pretty much stress is caused by forces that you're basically forcing stress onto yourself, like procrastination. This is a good example of it. And yeah, it's kind of okay, that's something. Yeah. Okay. What's out? Oh, I already ate. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Wait, what do you mean? Do I have a second mic? I don't have a second mic anywhere. Left index finger? What do you mean I wasn't fully muted? What? What do you mean I wasn't fully muted? I should have been. Oh, wait. Can you hear what I'm saying? Kitty. What? How did you hear that? Okay, I'm gonna say a word real fast and tell me if you hear it. Guess what the word is. Kitty. Kitty. How do you hear that? I have it muted. Like, it shows it muted. Like, it shows it's muted. Okay, I'll figure that out. Give me a second. Let me see. There has to be a second device. I know Rafi did say maybe in a second time, but second device is the only thing I can think of. Seriously. Give me a second. Let's see. Yeah, no. I don't have a second device anywhere. Like at all. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm gonna give it like 3 or 4 seconds. Because for some reason, okay, do you know what I said? What? What? That's so confusing. Whatever. I think it's because, actually I don't know what the reason is. Whatever. I'll just deal with it later. Wait, give me a second. I'm gonna do some property settings real fast, or some filters. Let's see what this does. Let's see. Okay. Does this do anything? I said I wasn't gonna deal with it, but I'm kind of dealing with it right now. So. Oh wait, gotcha. Wait. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see if I do. I think I'm supposed to go this direction. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's supposed to go this direction. I don't really know though. Let's see here. Is that good? What's up, Daniel? I hope that's better. Let's see. Okay, does this do anything? I don't know. If this does anything. Background noise. I don't know if it's gonna do it. Is that white noise removed? Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean by it being background noise when I speak? Oh, never mind. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Okay, I think I know how to fix that actually. Give me just a second. Okay, let's see what this does. Okay. How does this sound? When I talk, is there any background noise or anything like that? How about now? Is that better? I don't know, just something about the background noise. I think it would just be nice to just have no background noise when I talk. I know it doesn't matter that much. Okina. I have no clue how to say that. Okinan. Oh yeah. I'm butchering that probably so badly, but that's so weird. Because I'm on the Legacy Edition 1.14. Okay, good to know. Okay, that should be good, right? I think I fixed it. Or at least, I hopefully at least somewhat fixed it. Okay, good. Oh. I'm looking at the bar for any background noise. I love that OBS Studio actually has built-in. I love that OBS Studio or OBS in general. Jesus Christ. God, this was not expected. Wow, that's actually amazing. That noise suppression, holy jeez. Or that the close threshold. I think it's open or closed. I don't know which one it is. I think it's open threshold, but my god, there's a lot of background noise and not even a single thing. I don't know why, I'll be honest with you, I don't know why I didn't fully mute. I think I messed with the settings. I'll have to figure that out sometime, but it should help, because that background noise is amazing. Seriously, that helped a lot. Like the suppression or whatever it is. It may not even be suppression. I think it's that threshold that I set that was really high. Pretty amazing though. Yeah, I don't know why I fully mute though. Okay, I'm gonna say a word real fast. And when I mute, and then try to guess the word. Like when I mute it, I'm gonna say a word and then see what happens. Okay. Okay, what did I say? Okay, good to know. Okay, so I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna do a different scenario though. Say the same word, but I'm gonna say it right after I mute. So as soon as I mute the button, like press the button, I'm gonna say the word. Okay. What'd I say? No, it's not potato. Yeah, probably next stream we'll do it again, just to be sure. That was just weird. I don't know why that happened. Maybe it has maybe the mute has a certain threshold to it, which it shouldn't have one, but it may have a certain threshold to decibels. Even though on here, like, no matter how high I there's this little bar that it's basically like this little bar that black bar that shows where muting is. Basically, it will never go past that bar. I'm not really too sure. Even though somehow you guys heard me earlier, I don't understand why. I'll have to figure it out if I have to mute it quick again and see if you guys can hear me. How clearly was it? Was it very clear what I was talking about? Because I'm pretty sure. I mean, if you heard what I was talking about, that's pretty clear. I know this is a pretty good mic. But yeah. That's good to know. Maybe it's just a threshold that the mic hits after a certain point. I don't know though. No, it really shouldn't happen. It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make. Trust me, I've had some weird times happen on stream. But let me just say that my door is like right here, and I had somebody yelling. It wasn't bad yelling; it was just normal yelling, and not even a single peep on my. Like, kind of insane, actually. It was pretty loud. Like, I know my door is closed, but it's not super insulated. Kind of insane, actually. How good that worked. Good thing I have y'all for like instant feedback for some mic stuff like that. It was annoying doing video though, because I have to record it and then delete it and then record it and delete it. Popular. I don't actually know what your second part of your name is, but Because you know somehow OBS Studio has it where you just can't see the entire name. Thought I like. And extremely nerve-wracking, but a good type of nerve-wracking. Probably gonna be how Kilo felt when he was walking to the far lands. When you have over 14,000 people watching you at once. I'm not too sure how I'm gonna react to this project, I'll be honest with you, just because I'm so numb to the project. It could be, but honestly, the chances of people not getting my name back out to more people or more people sticking around. I will be doing announcements and stuff like that towards the end of the project. So like if I hit 75%, I'm gonna do a community post. Of hey, I've hit 75%. I'm hitting this is the final stretch of my project, or not the final stretch. It's the end game of my project of the overworld. Final quarter of the world. I consider the end game of the project. Sorry, late game of the project. That was just weird. Late game of the project. And then, the end game, which late game, end game, I mean, come on. The end game is probably like the last, like, section. The final section will be a 100 by 31, which good luck catching that. That's gonna go by in the blink of an eye. I'm even gonna make an announcement for the first stream of the final section. So like, I'm gonna say, hey, the final section will be recorded on, the start of the final section will be recorded on, this date, this time. This is gonna be one of the few times where I actually schedule a stream. I don't know, there's a chance of this project not really going anywhere at the end of the project, or not blowing up at the end of the project. Never know, really know. I know, English has went down the drain for me, so... entirely. Um, it really depends. I'm gonna try to squeeze as many streams as I can during the holidays, but okay, so if it's like a big important stream, I'm not doing it on any holiday. That'd be stupid. I'm just gonna do it if it's like a major stream. I'm gonna do it on a random Saturday or something like that, or even a weekday, even if I have to, like, or something. You get the idea. I can't catch everybody's time zones, obviously, but I do have to put time zones. I need to remember to do that whenever I do those streams. To be sort of fair, you're also typing English. You're typing in English. I'm speaking English, so it's a little different. You're not really speaking, you're kind of just typing. Two completely different mediums. Sponge, a good word to say it. You basically turn all the water into 3 by is it 3 column strips, so 1 row of sand, and then it's 3 rows of water, 1 row of sand, 3 rows of water. Keep doing that over and over again until you get to the end, and then do sponging. I only stutter a lot if I'm really just not paying attention to my English whatsoever. If I'm just spewing words every 5 seconds, I will probably stutter quite often. Probably because I'm in my ENFP unconscious though, which is informative, so I don't know. Or at least that has a hand to it, at least. And I'm not really thinking at all, I'm just kind of just spewing nonsense sometimes. I'm not saying that ENFPs in general spew nonsense, I'm just saying they're amazing when it comes to doing nonsense. But, just filler. Actually, you know what? It makes sense that they spew nonsense because they have TI Trickster, so it would make sense. Because it's nonsensical, like logical sense. So it would somewhat. That kind of still makes sense. Same here. Comes to words, okay. That was something. Here's the thing about typing though, you can review it in your head. Even though I know that isn't 100% accurate because your brain automatically autocorrects a lot of the words when you say something on paper, which is really frustrating. No, I'm not. Well, actually, sometimes I am, but not really. It comes in waves. I'm actually pretty good when it comes to English sometimes. Not always, though. I'm either really horrible or I'm pretty good. Like, it's really no in between. I'm usually not I'm usually a little bit above average or I'm way below average. Kind of funny. Wait, who's talking about getting good at something? Figure out your type. If you want to figure out what you're good at, figure out your type. Or figure out what you could get good at. Some types are entirely talentless, like ENPs. Because they have SE Demon. but they benefit the most from literally working hard at something. They benefit the most from experience. INTPs even, INPs even can be amazing when it comes to like INTPs can be amazing at like engineering, IT, especially after periods of time. They're very adaptable when it comes to basically anything really. INFPs benefit the most from reading and academics. Both of those types are really good when it comes to academics. Even the four sides of the mind, INTPs can be amazing in like real estate. Because they're an ENTJ unconscious, they can be amazing at like finances. I just say finances. Little financial. And maybe potentially getting a mentor for IT. Or at least like internship sort of. Which is pretty sick. Which I do not mind. Or even like a shadow, sort of, being a shadow. Like shadowing, sort of. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention the types and stuff like that. So, I forgot to mention ENFPs can be amazing at finances as well. Let's see. Really, those are the main types that struggle with finding skills to be good at. I mean, obviously INFJs probably have the hardest time because of SE Inferior and FI Critic, but I mean, there aren't too many INFJs in here. think Rafi's the only one, but I'm pretty sure I've already talked to him many times of, or what he could go into. I don't know if he even has. Do you even have any plans to go into anything? Do you have like any formal direction to go into something? Just out of curiosity. Do you have any ideas? Okay, you're open to stuff. So I can give you a couple of options. Really, they're very different from each other. What's up, Krumi? What's up, Jake? Okay, so Rafi, I know I've mentioned a couple of options, but programming could be one. As long if you have the time to program, like time as in like getting a job, like career-wise, I would recommend programming. You'll be horribly lost at the very beginning, but trust me, you'll probably pretty quickly. Obviously, you can do the route that I'm going, which, I mean, I know I'm going to be doing programming in the future, but if you want to start with IT, that would be pretty useful to do. You can join a trade, even. The only one I would personally recommend is electrician, but just from what I've seen about the job and stuff like that, that's the only one I would personally recommend. Sales, even ENFP unconscious, good at sales. Brains a bit. Those are the main ones. Oh yeah, cybersecurity. Very high demand. That's what I love about IT. It's so flexible. Jeez. IT is amazingly flexible. Could open a server. That would be kind of interesting. Problem is the account that I'm using, my bank account that I'm using right now, is doesn't use international funds, so it'd be basically impossible. But I think if I get a new bank, switch to a new bank account eventually. I may do a mining server after the project. That would be interesting. The crazy part is not only does cybersecurity have a huge job growth, you literally almost make 6 figures. Well, at least in the US. I know, obviously, I don't know what the equivalency of $100,000 is in Germany, but I don't know what the demand is there, but at least in the US, is you make almost 6 figures right off the bat. And you don't even really need a degree, you only need a couple certificates and some good job training. I'm gonna be ending the job once I hit x-axis 215. I'm gonna end this. Is it hard to believe almost every stream I mine around 50,000, at least at a minimum 50,000 blocks per? Is that kind of insane? Most streams I mine 80,000 blocks because I mine 2 layers, which each layer is like 40k blocks per layer if you count air block. Not a little bit more. Pretty close to 50,000 average. That actually makes sense because I'm not saying that. I think that median is 100k. I don't think it's 100k everywhere, but it's one of the few jobs that you can actually get, at least in the US, where you can get 6 figures. I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's definitely not easy. Like the CompTIA Security Plus is the hardest entry level certificate out of the 3. It's called the Golden Trio of certificates of IT, which is CompTIA A+, CompTIA Network Plus, and CompTIA Security Plus. Those are the 3 main IT certificates of the IT world, really. And then after that, there's CCNA, like Cisco. Then you basically, it's those 3, and then you can branch off into really anything you want to go in. I mean, you don't have to get all 3 certificates, definitely not. I don't think I'm even gonna get all 3. Because I may be focusing on programming, main reason why. I may get all 3, I don't know. Maybe if I'm bored. They sound kind of fun to learn though. Networking is pretty interesting. Not something I want to like completely like go insane on, but I mean it seems pretty interesting. I literally have not touched on cybersecurity. I've touched on cloud. I've touched on been in hardware for a while. Already touched on that for hardware, cloud, little bit of networking. I think the only one I really haven't been into, or I haven't really even dipped my toes into, is cybersecurity. I was thinking about going into cloud possibly, and become a cloud engineer. Yes, it is possible to become an engineer without. It's not that type of engineer. It's a little different. I mean, it's still an engineer. It's just not engineering physical. I mean, there's network engineering, which I don't really do, but entirely. I think you just design networks and systems around this network. That also you don't need to. It's not even really the financial thing about getting a degree. It's the self-teaching aspect. I just don't benefit at all from teaching school systems being taught thing. It just doesn't work. At least not as well. It's not as efficient. It may be slower, but it's not. It's quantity over quality instead of quality over quantity. Unfortunate. Am I saying that I can't learn from schooling? Not really. I mean, I'm not entirely saying I can't benefit from schooling, but I benefit far more from self-teaching my thing, concepts and information and stuff like that. I don't know why I got myself a course. I could have just bought it. I could have just bought a CompTIA A+ study guide. Did I just say bought? Whatever. I could have just bought a A+ study guide. At the same time, it is hardware troubleshooting. And it's more of a physical, here I'm going to show you how to do this instead of reading a book. Even something like networking is less. Thank you, Sparks. Isn't super high when it comes to physical. Not to the point of hardware where you have to, like, I mean, you do have to do, I don't know. It's not to that point. At least all the concepts. There's a lot more concepts in networking than there is actually in hardware. To be kind of honest with you. One of the reasons why it's harder for me to digest networking than it is hardware. Because there's so much more content I have to get, it's like, saw it turn. Okay, I'm gonna go into the stream now. I just realized it's already, I just hit 3:15. It's like 3:15, I'm at 2:15. Yeah. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. I don't even know what the heck I'm doing most of these days, I'll be honest with you. I maybe just do you guys later. Okay, that was something.